Levels.
Levels. All right. So your football team hired a new head coach today, didn't they?
They did. Yes.
Yes.
A couple days ago, but yeah, they actually introduced him to the world.
Yeah. So he did his. So this is Ben Johnson from the Lions. He's now. So they did the press conference today, correct?
Yeah. Yes. Coach Johnson.
Okay. Oh, you should get like a Bears jacket with that. Anyway. So I thought, and I take it you probably watched the replay of the press conference.
A replay. I watched it live, man.
You said you were at work. I'm trying to give you plausible deniability, but whatever. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Instead of, we're just going to we're going to do a little role play thing here where I'm going to ask some questions as if he was talking to Todd, no G, no space. And you answer with the actual answers that he gave to questions in that press conference. Does that work?
I can do this.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So
channel my inner Ben Johnson. Here we go.
Start biting kneecaps. Nope, wrong coach. Okay. All right. Oh, this works out well because it's Coach Johnson. Okay. Hey, so Coach Johnson, thanks so much for joining us today on Talking to Todd. Just a few questions as you start your tenure here with us. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the toddlers listening to this week's show?
Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Okay. Yep. That makes sense. How do you think that Talking to Todd has managed to release more than 250 episodes?
There's only one way to be successful, and that's to have the right people in place.
Excellent. Hey, Kevin, I think he's talking to you, bud. Okay. Oh, well, maybe not. Let me ask you this. So how about our intern, Kevin? Should we keep him around?
This roster is absolutely loaded with talent.
Yeah. Have you actually met him? Okay, never mind. Hey, Coach Johnson, how do you feel about the toddlers?
These people are special.
I don't know why you put air quotes around that, but okay, that's fine. Do you like being in Studio F?
Walking into this building gave me goosebumps.
Well, it's Florida in the winter. I'm sure the air conditioning's on. That might explain it. Okay. Hey, what do you think of our normal show rundown? You know, where we do follow-up, tech corner, idiots, etc.
We're ripping this thing down to the studs.
Okay. All right. That's not great. Quick dip into Todd's Tech Corner. Could you comment on the upcoming iPhone 17 versus the iPhone 16 versus the old iPhone 15?
We want to make the same things look different and make different things look the same.
Perfect. You are now our correspondent covering that. That's an excellent thing. We have considered changing Talking to Todd into a musical theater only podcast. Any thoughts on that?
We want the ability to morph.
Okay. Any thoughts on how to improve our editing?
I am a football coach.
Got it. Okay. Hey, here's a question that Dwayne and I ask occasionally. Should every episode be a winner?
We're going to be who we say we're going to be.
So I'll take that as no. Okay, that's good. We clearly state it. Have you listened to all 255 episodes of Talking to Todd up to this point?
What I've seen is as much not good as there is good.
Okay, so you absolutely did. Okay, is there anything else we should know about how you'd like to change Talking to Todd?
At the end of the day, we're going to lean on a professional work ethic.
Yeah, that's not going to fly here. Next candidate, please.
Hi, toddlers. Welcome to Talking to Todd, a weekly podcast with Dwayne Johnson and Todd Prinz, where failure is always an option. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Todd.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad. I kind of felt like at the with the theme that was like offensive genius coach's first play. And we took a delay of game. We didn't even get the ball snapped on the first play or the right time. Anyway, that's fine. Everything's fine. It's great. Congratulations on your team getting the most sought after head coach. He was the number one get for every team, and he chose the Bears over. I mean, let's be honest, the Jets. But anyway, that's not nothing.
Or the Raiders.
Jets West.
Jets, yeah. Dumpster fire A, dumpster fire B.
Yeah. Anyway, or, you could be in Jacksonville. Anyway, so that's enough sports talk for now, although in the rundown, might be having a little bit more. Do we have any feedback, follow-up, or updates?
We do from toddler -18.
Yes.
I got, several. She's getting caught up on the pod.
Okay.
And she referenced her toddler number.
Yes.
Tell me it's cold without telling me it's cold. She went to the grocery store and the milk jug that she brought home had a leak in it. In her car, the milk froze between the grocery store and her house. The milk that had leaked out of the container,
yes,
into the floorboard, into the mat, had frozen in her car, in her heated car.
I thought you were going to say it had a leak in it, but she didn't know until she got it in the house because it was frozen solid the entire time.
Tell me it's cold without telling me it's cold.
Here's my problem. You have spilled milk in your car. You have two choices. Number one, keep the car below zero, keep the interior of the car below zero for the entire rest of the time you have the car, or two, sell it. You cannot, there's no other option.
She said she had removable floor mats. And so she had to take the frozen removable floor mat into the house so that it would thaw.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So that she could actually clean it up. It's cold in St. Cloud.
Apparently.
Yep. Let's see. From Sherry, ROWDIE. Don't forget the whoop. It's ROWDIE. Whoop. That's the way they spell rowdy. It's the whoop that transforms ROWDY to ROWDIE. That's just science.
So the problem wasn't the changed an few additional letters. You need more additional letters.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I would love somebody to pull that off at like the National Spelling Bee. Just completely butcher the word and then at the end go whoop. They're like, rule said makes it all right. Thank you, Sherry. I was unaware that was that kids these days, they don't know how to do this stuff.
I'm telling you.
Also had some feedback from Lisa. We were listening to the Toddies episode and pointed out that she was again a winner. We thought it made her a 5-time winner. Before we could get to it in the episode, she turned to me in the car and said, "Where's my blazer?" And I'm like, "Hold on, we get to it." And then we're like, "Yeah, we don't have one." And she's like, "Yeah, where's my blazer?" So
Zazzle doesn't make them. If Zazzle doesn't make them,
there's got to be somewhere. There has got to be an entire warehouse full of blazers they made for. Remember the ABC Monday Night Football blazers?
Oh yeah,
like mustard yellow. There's got to be those somewhere. Yeah.
They were able to sell those to the NFL Hall of Fame as backups.
These things are ugly. They're only for people in the Hall of Fame. These are the most gorgeous jackets we've ever. God, that's just marketing. They're limited and hard to get. Just like, yeah, okay.
Speaking of the Toddy Awards, did the magnets
The magnets have arrived. Yes, the
fantastic.
magnets arrived before we listened to the episode. So as you would think, noted on the postcard. So yes, she's like, "Are these all for me?" I'm like, "I think one's for me. We'll have to listen." She's like, "All right, well, maybe they're all for me." So anyway, yes.
Other local listeners, share the love, man.
Yeah. What else do we have?
Danny, Toddler 401k. I just started the latest episode. Why are you in a cave? Or are you recording in a bathroom? Well, Studio F ain't all it cracked up to be.
Danny, rule number 1. Never ask a question you don't want the answer to.
Let's see. And Bachelor number 6, Landman is fantastic. P, also, the second note that I got from him.
By the way, just real quick, I think he did that wrong. From what I understand, it should be Landman is effing fantastic. Just stay on brand.
It is, absolutely.
Yeah, what else did he have?
Potie. That's the way we spell potty.
Man.
Solid work.
Yep.
It's not my favorite joke. Let's see. Do we catch any other feedback?
No, but it looks like we have a correction.
We do. We have one.
Actually.
So this was the example of how to spell Stegosaurus in a sentence.
Yes.
And I believe you said the Stegosaurus lived at the same time as the T-Rex.
I believe so, yes.
Yes.
Actually.
The Stegosaurus and the Tyrannosaurus Rex did not live at the same time. The Stegosaurus lived during the Jurassic period. The T-Rex lived during the Cretaceous period, which the late Jurassic period was between 156 and 144 million years ago. The T-Rex lived during the late Cretaceous period, about 67 to 65 million years ago. No, they did not. Just thought I would want to call that out. The idea that dinosaurs coexisted is often depicted in movies like Jurassic Park or Land Before Time, which causes confusion amongst the general public. They just, in case anyone was confused, actually, no, they did not.
2 things.
Yes.
1, that's why I couldn't spell it, because the sentence was wrong. And 2, this week is Dwayne Guess a Number.
Oh shit.
And you just brought some heat. That can you just take about 2 or 3 minutes while I go find the next level Dwayne Guess a Number to give you? Should have waited a week on that.
I really should have. I picked the wrong week.
It's 100 million years old. It could have waited another week.
Matt Damon would tell you that.
Okay, well, good to know. Hey, everybody. So make sure if your kid or grandchild or whatever draws a picture at school with a Tyrannosaurus Rex and a Stegosaurus, make sure you sit them down and explain to them that could have never happened. I don't know what kind of school you're going to, but they're not teaching you right.
If you want to get technical about it, we're actually closer now to the time when the Tyrannosaurus Rex lived than the Tyrannosaurus Rex was to the time when the Stegosaurus lived.
Okay. Good to know. Wow. Okay.
It was a long time ago.
I'm just going to throw this out.
Yes.
Most people don't know that you only find polar bears in the Arctic and penguins in the Antarctic, and that's now and here. That's they're just separated by the planet, let alone by 100 million years. So maybe we work on the here and now facts, and then anyway. You know what? Thank you for the correction. I appreciate it. We do not want to.
I don't think you do, but okay. But okay.
The last thing we want is somebody to get the wrong idea from this podcast.
God. Oh God.
Yeah. All right. Any follow-up?
We've set a date for ToddCon 3.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
Breaking news.
Yeah. Breaking news. So, well, we've set a date. We set a date for ToddCon 3. Details, or the rest of the details to follow. However, on August 14th, Def Leppard will be playing the Iowa State Fair in the main fairgrounds, not the other stage. They get the main grandstand, and we will. And Talking to Todd will be fully represented at the Def Leppard concert. So yes, rest of details to follow.
Yep. Look for other meetups in Central Iowa, all of which will be fantastic. Also, two different things hit my feed in the last couple of weeks. We've talked about Six, the musical, on this podcast.
Yes.
Lots.
Yes.
They recorded it.
Yes.
And the movie of that recording is going to be released in the UK soon.
So apparently they recorded, I did not know this. Lisa had to inform me of this. What they recorded is in the business is referred to as a pro shot.
Yes.
Which is different than a slime tutorial.
It definitely is.
Yes.
Yes.
So the pro shot was they got the original Queens, got them on stage, staged it, and filmed it. It is right now going to be released by Universal Pictures in the UK, starting on Sunday, April 6th, which happens to be a day that we will be in London.
Oh,
so we may have a review of Six, the movie, Six the musical, Six the musical the movie, maybe from opening night.
Will that supplant your Get Out of Town 6?
Sorry,
No,
what?
Sorry, you have Get Out of Town Book of Mormon.
Yes.
You always have Get Out of Town Book of Mormon.
Yes, that's the last night. That's the last night in London is celebrated with Book of Mormon. So now there are reports that there is a pro shot of Book of Mormon with the original cast.
Really?
Somewhere. Now that may be slightly different than this because that's been a while now. So they filmed it.
Right.
If there doesn't seem to be any desire to release it, but one can hope. But anyway, yes, we saw that and we said, hey, guess where we're going to be the day that it opens?
Well, much like if you saw the Hamilton pro shot that they released.
Yes.
Similar kind of deal. Also, Waitress. This was the other thing that was on my list. The pro shot of Waitress that they released in theaters that Amy and I went and saw. I don't know. Did you guys go to the theater to see Waitress when it was released?
No, I don't believe we've seen that. No. Oh, no. In movies? No, we did not see that.
Yeah. It's with Sarah Bareilles. It's coming to HBO on Valentine's Day.
Oh, excellent. Well, there you go.
So, yep. So, one of my not top 5, 8, 10, 12, definitely in my top 15.
It's one of the 23 in my top 15.
that tracks. Yeah, that's pretty.
Yes.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Yep.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any other follow-up from you?
Nope, I think that's it.
Okay, well, I've probably delayed this then about as long as I possibly can. It has been a long time since we played that theme.
Yes. You've gotten off scot-free for quite a while.
I really have, but unfortunately for me, that theme means it's time for America's favorite game. It's time for Dwayne Guess a Number. Okay, hit me.
All right. Interesting that we got to talking about some musical theater because this is Dwayne Guess the Number musical theater style.
Uh-oh.
So for the week around Christmas, a musical on Broadway, not West End, Broadway, set a record for the most amount of revenue, ticket sales, in a single week in Broadway history. So for the Dwayne Guess a Number, I have two numbers for you. And then we're going to do, then it's going to be also Guess a Musical, but that's not the name of the segment. Dwayne, how much did this musical, whatever musical it is, bring in a week that set the Broadway record? I'm going to say this one other thing. One of the reasons why it helps set a record is because of the holidays, they had 9 shows instead of normally they get 8 shows.
Right.
So there was 9 shows, which helped lift this up. But Dwayne, what's the new top weekly gross for a musical?
I have no idea.
That's why I asked it.
Yeah, it's $6.5 million.
Okay, you're a little high.
Oh, okay, good. $2.3 million?
The record is now $5 million in a single week.
Wow. Good for them. Okay, so I was only a little bit. I was closer with my first guess than I was with my second guess, for the record.
You were closer with your first guess than we are from the Tyrannosaurus Rex to the Stegosaurus.
January, February, March, April, May.
So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Now, jeez. I'm gonna switch these up. I have another number for you, but this is the part where, Dwayne, do you want to guess the musical that has now set the weekly highest gross in Broadway history of all time?
What's even playing right now that could do that?
I know, right? That's an interesting question.
Some Like It Hot? No. Did somebody guessed on Chicago and just sold the thing out like crazy?
That may have happened, but it's not this show.
Okay. Because that's a legitimate guess.
It is? Yes, it is. Yes.
Was it the Christmas Spectacular show at Radio City Music Hall for the Rockettes?
Nope. Famous musical.
Famous musical.
You've heard of it.
Have I seen it?
Probably. Yes. And maybe you've seen a movie version of it recently.
Really? Wicked?
Wicked.
Oh, I've seen it like 5 times, man.
Yes. Yeah. So Wicked grossed $5 million for the week, which is the most that has ever happened on Broadway.
It's also in a big theater. But here's the thing. One of the things that people don't think about, right? Broadway theaters aren't huge. Most of them. Some of them are really big.
Yes, although most Broadway theaters are bigger than most West End theaters. So even the London ones, sorry, your Broadway, you're like, I mean, they've got some massive ones, and then like, yeah, this is not that big a theater. And then you go into some of the ones in the West End, and you're like, I think we could put the entire Talking to Todd entire audience in here and have a really good show. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so you mentioned that it's in a big theater.
Yeah.
So here's your next number to guess. Big theater, 9 shows, $5 million. What does that work out to be for an average ticket price?
Average ticket price.
And it's going to be, I just make sure I'm not saying like it's not average ticket price like on SeatGeek or Scalping or whatever. This is actually like the number, like here's the revenue divided by performances divided by the actual number. This is like the actual ticket price, not secondary market.
$755.
Oh, you went high again. Yeah.
Really?
You did. Yeah.
because I just bought a bunch of tickets and I know what they're going for and I know what the cheap ones are going for. But I have to think that they jack up the prices during Christmas week because you can. I don't know, better than half of that, $525.
Okay, so here's my problem. I think this is ridiculously high. Again, Broadway prices are way, way higher than West End prices, which is sometimes why it's cheaper to fly to London to go see a show and fly back than go to Broadway.
Yes.
I think this is ridiculously expensive. Based off of your number, everybody's going to go, this is pretty cheap. The average ticket price for Wicked for those 9 shows was $290.61.
I'd have paid it in a heartbeat based on what I just bought. Spoiler alert. We bought tickets to see George Clooney do Good Night and Good Luck.
Oh, I've watched the first 20 minutes of that movie, 15 minutes.
Really? Oh, I love that movie. You should go back and watch it again.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes. Well, maybe
next week on What We're Watching.
I was going to say, by the way, maybe you should look for Wicked tickets because apparently they're not that bad. Just rounding this out, in addition to Wicked, several other productions who played 9 performances last week brought in a lot of money. Sorry, last week being the week of Christmas, brought in a lot of money. The Lion King brought in $4.2 million. Aladdin brought in $2.8 million. The Great Gatsby, $2.6 million, breaking the box office record for 9 shows at the Broadway Theater. Hamilton just played their 8-week show and still brought in $2.93 million for their, just taking it easy and only doing 8 productions in a single week. Also, Elf the Musical broke the box office record at the Marquee Theater and brought in $2.2 million. The Outsiders brought in $2 million with an average ticket price of $239.96.
I don't want to dip into Lisa's Theater Corner without her, but I've heard that that's very good.
The Outsiders?
Yeah.
Yeah. We can have follow up on that next week. So Anyway,
fantastic.
So congratulations to Wicked, a 20-year-old show. Apparently, if you play the movie, you have a good movie that a lot of people watch. Apparently, people are like, maybe we should go watch the show
and see how the second half ends.
Yeah. Don't have to wait for another year for the ending. So. Anyway, there's where we are. I think we're now moved on to the Scott Frost Memorial Idiot of the Week. Dwayne, what did you bring this week?
I brought the new -- bestseller on Amazon. You know what this is?
Wicked the book.
It is not Wicked the book. Do you not know what this is? The new #1 best-selling book on Amazon?
Isn't it the it's one of the self-help books. Something. No, I don't. I mean, I know where it came from, but I don't know what it is.
It is. It's called Inner Excellence. Do you know why it shot to the top of the Amazon bestseller list after languishing in the 8,000s and 9,000s?
Was this the book that a Philadelphia Eagles starter was seen reading during the game?
During the game on the sideline. He's just sitting on the bench reading his book. Yep. Philadelphia Eagles star receiver A.J. Brown could launch a book club of his own after a little sideline reading skyrocketed self-help author Jim Murphy to the hottest seller on Amazon overnight. Yep. Hey, write a good book. Don't write a good book. Apparently, the secret to success is having your book read on the sideline during a blowout.
The NFL, I will say this. I think part of it was not just, is that guy reading a book during the game? I think the assumption is there's not how do I say this nicely? There's not a lot of books around the NFL, I think is the assumption.
Plenty of bookies.
Lots of
not
bookies.
Many books.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. So I also brought an NFL idiot of the week.
Okay.
So there was some lively debate about the efficacy of some of the officiating in the Kansas City Houston Texans game. And after the game, a number of Texans had thoughts about the quality of the officiating. Running back Joe Mixon had some thoughts, and he expressed them after the game. However, then in agreement with Joe Mixon, who is a current member of the NFL, retired player TJ Houshmandzadeh posted an agreement writing on his own post, "Why play the game if every 50-50 call goes with the Chiefs? These officials are trash and bias." A story was printed with Joe Mixon saying his thing and then TJ Houshmandzadeh's reaction. That went to the league office, and the league issued Joe Mixon a $25,000 fine for saying, "Why play the game if every 50-50 call goes with the Chiefs? These officials are trash and bias." So they fined a player $25,000 for something he did not say. It said it right in the letter. This is what you're being fined for, which he never said and was attributed to a non-NFL player. That's early today. That is where the idiocy was going to stop. But the NFL said, we can do better because this was brought to their attention and they fixed it. They sent a new letter, reissued the fine, took out the thing he didn't say, and put in the thing that he did say and said, "No, this is what you're being fined for." Now, here's what he is fined for. Dwayne, you're an official, so you understand both sides of this. This is what he actually said and got fined $25,000 for. Everybody knows how it's playing up here. You can never leave it in the ref's hands. The whole world sees, man, what it is. When it comes down to it, you can never leave it in the ref's hands. It's all good, though. So at no point did he actually say he never criticized the officials. He specifically said you can't leave it in their hands, which we've heard plenty of times. You know what? If we're doing it, you can't. It shouldn't come down to these calls.
Just make your free throws, man, and it doesn't matter.
He never criticized the referees, but they had already sent the fine letter and got it wrong. So they didn't retract the first fine. They just, quote unquote, reissued and put his statement in, which is not a finable statement.
I have to think that the Players Association is going to appeal that.
I assume so, although the NFL Players Association right now is offering buyouts to almost every member of their staff. They're a little hurt for money, so I don't think anybody's answering the phones. Anyway, yeah, way to go, NFL. Hey, you fined the guy for the wrong thing. Doesn't matter what we fine him for. We're the NFL. Fine. I don't know. Here, sure. Did they admit that they were wrong? They did not. They just reissued it and said, I don't know, we can fine you for whatever the hell we want.
Yeah, you can wear the wrong shade of green on your shoes and we can fine you. So whatever.
Also tells me that the NFL is getting a little tired of the heat that they're taking over some questionable officiating.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of it.
Yeah. I would like to think that if it was their $25,000, they'd be a little more careful with it, but whatever. What are you going to do?
Hey, what do we know?
Yeah. Hey, you've been on the road. Any travel stories this week?
So we're doing a walking challenge at work. So during my lunch hour, or when I'm on calls, when I don't need to be in front of a computer and I can just be on the phone on the call participating, I will put my headphones on and go and walk because I'm in Florida. And I mean, like today it was, I don't know. I mean, it was chilly. right? I mean, I think it was like 60.
That smirk on your face is just,
it's terrible, right? Because I know what Iowa and Minnesota is
I was
doing.
going to say that was specifically for toddler negative 18.
Yeah, it kind of was.
That was cold, man. Cold. Sorry.
Not near as cold as she is. So I've been walking a lot to try to keep up with this step challenge and do my part to help out the team. And today I took off and started walking around our development here. And it is a 4-mile loop around the entire outside.
Okay.
And I got about a mile and a half into it, and a block and a half ahead of me on the street, maybe not a block and a half, maybe a half a block. Anyway, I see in front of me, crossing the sidewalk and going towards one of the lakes, a black bear.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going. I would have gone all in on a gator.
It was not. It was a bear much larger than me.
Yes.
This wasn't a baby bear. This was a full-grown. And I'm like, wow. Amy, did you take a picture? No, I was too busy walking the opposite direction.
How often has that happened to you in Iowa? I'm just wondering. Around the house. Okay.
Never. I'm deer? Absolutely. There's actually, you know what? On another one of my walks, I saw that sign.
Okay, so it's like a deer crossing sign, but it has a picture of a panther, and then it says panther traffic. Well, I have heard there are Florida panthers, but most of them have sticks and skates. Yeah.
I wasn't particularly concerned about being cross-checked on that particular sidewalk at that particular time. But at least there was a warning about the panthers. There was no warning about the bears.
I mean, it's odd that they call it panther traffic, though, because mostly they're like panther crossing. Panther traffic makes it sound like they're all in Waymos. Like like, hey, by the way, up ahead, there's a lot of panther traffic right now. So if you might want to find a different way to go. Wow. Okay.
Right.
Yep. Wow. So between the head coach and that one, you've got 2 new bears today.
Yes, I do. It was it was a lot to bear.
Sometimes I don't know if these are even true or if you're just, anyway, that's just okay. Wow.
You watching anything good?
Yeah, we got to somehow figure out how to claw this podcast back. Okay. So, we finished watching The Diplomat. Both we watched season 1 and then quickly went through season 2, partially because it was only 6 episodes. That, by the way, I know we're late to this. It's a really good show. It's a really good show,
isn't it? Yes.
And then midway through season 2, a new character is introduced with an actress, and you're like, oh my God, she's back. And that was a lot of fun. Also, so this is Saturday Night Live's 50th season is this year. And on Peacock, there is a 4-part documentary series called SNL 50 Beyond Saturday Night. Have you seen this?
No,
because it's on Peacock. Nobody's seen this. Okay. So the 4 episodes are episode 1 has a bunch of current and previous cast members talking about their auditions for Saturday Night Live with the actual tape. And many of them, they actually have them watch their audition, one of their auditions for Saturday Night Live. And for most of them, they've never seen us ever before. So including people who didn't make the show also get to watch their audition that wasn't successful.
Oh, that's cringe, but okay.
So it talks about the process and what you do and how to go about it, and you see all these people. It also, anyway, so that's the first one. The second one focuses completely on the writers and how do you write the show? What does a week look like in the life of a writer for Saturday Night Live? And again, it's current writers, but it also goes all the way back to at least one writer who was with the original cast back from 75 to 80.
Huh. Okay.
Al Franken is also in, like this isn't so more current. It is a fascinating look at the show. You completely understand how when you watch it, you're like, is this the best 10 things you could come up with? Because some of these suck. And then you realize it's amazing anything makes it to air. And it has to be one of the hardest, most terrifying jobs there is to start over every week with
nothing.
Anyway,
absolutely, yes.
Even if you don't like Saturday Night Live, it's a very interesting look at that. The next two episodes then are, one of them looks at season 11, The Weird Year, where it almost died. Right? So this is Anthony Michael Hall, Joan Cusack.
The guy from Cedar Falls.
Who is that?
I don't know.
Terry Sweeney?
Might have been. I don't know.
No.
He was a guy.
You guy, yeah. I don't think he was on that season. Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. Yep.
It was a terrible year. By the way, I don't even remember this. Francis Ford Coppola directed an entire episode of Saturday Night Live that season.
Really?
It's the only, he didn't use the theme song. He directed it anyway, weird year. That is incredible to watch. And then they also have an entire episode on breaking down one sketch, just one sketch. If you want to know what went into the cowbell sketch, there's a full hour on how it came to be, how they shot it, the band members from the band are there. It goes way deep. So anyway, it's a really interesting, they're telling stories that you haven't heard before on a lot of this stuff. So anyway, that's called SNL 50 Beyond Saturday Night on Peacock.
Real-time follow-up. That's Gary Kroger. And it was during Lorne Michaels' hiatus year.
So Lorne was gone for 5 years.
Okay.
This is Lorne's first year back.
Oh dear.
And it didn't go well at all. It's massive train wreck. Anyway, yes. So there you go. But how about you? What are you watching?
Mostly stuff that we just kind of finished up. Finished Skeleton Crew, which is the Star Wars vehicle, I guess, for want of a better term, about the kids that get trapped on a ship. It's good. And then also finished Landman, which I don't believe has yet to be picked up for a second season and desperately needs to be.
I mean, it's a Taylor Sheridan thing. I don't know how they don't pick that up.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But they did finally, in episode 10, give Demi Moore something to do. So.
Oh, crap. We're out of episodes. We should write something. We should write something for her.
Because we're paying her a boatload of money.
Yeah. All right. Excellent.
Did you learn anything?
Yeah. You know what? So I feel bad now hearing about the frozen milk. It's a cold snap has come through the U.S. and it's gotten a little chilly here. This yesterday morning, I think when we got up, it was 17 degrees. Now, I was hearing from friends and family in Iowa showing me a negative 12 degree temperature. So not that, but I have noticed that taking a look in the winter, our solar system on our roof doesn't have that many hours to generate power. So
Yeah.
When it drops significantly colder than it normally is, what I learned was I opened up the app a couple of days ago because I needed to charge the car. And I went, wait, that can't possibly be right. The amount of power that we are using to keep everything, nothing here is built to withstand freezing temperatures for very long because it doesn't normally happen.
Right.
So, when it gets, it hit 30 overnight for a little bit. And then it got warm in the morning. Our environment is not built for the weather we've got. And so the power bill is going through the roof of being like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm just turning everything on and running it to try to keep the water in where it's supposed to be and the water out from where it's not supposed to be. There's a lot going on here. So anyway, yeah, this isn't great is what I'm hoping that I know how deep our sprinkler system is buried in the ground. And when I say buried, that's doing a lot of lifting, but very little digging. So I'm hoping that this week doesn't cause me problems in the spring. Anyway, so that's what I've learned is not ideal.
Did Little Chilli make an appearance?
What's up, everybody? Little Chilli. Lotta Chilli showed up is what happened.
Older brother?
Yeah. This is not Little Chilli. It's the whole Chilli family showed up. So how about you? Did you learn anything interesting spending some time in Florida?
On my birthday, we made a trip up to Fort Myers and visited a grocery store called Seed to Table. And Todd, I sent you a picture.
You did, yes.
From the grocery store. I'm going to tell you, when we pulled up, I was warned. The owner of this grocery store, and it is a huge fan of our new president, old president, new president.
Okay.
To the point where he's hosted events at the grocery store. The president has been to this grocery store. I was not prepared. I was warned, but I was not prepared. As we're walking through the parking lot, just like outside the entrance, there was the stands that you see or whatever, where you can buy t-shirts and buttons and hats and, all of this Make America Great Again stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a little stand where you can buy all your stuff. Fantastic. That'll be super. Okay, whatever. We walk in and I kid you not, the first thing that I see is the picture that I sent you. Todd?
Okay. I'm gonna paint a picture here for everybody.
Please.
And just bear with me because it's gonna take a little bit to get to the thing that Dwayne. I'll paint the picture. In the front of this, you are standing in front of this looks like a grocery store. It's got a whole lot of strawberries in containers, South Florida strawberries. They look, by the way, those strawberries look great. And then behind it, maybe there's some blueberries or something, and there's some cantaloupe, and then looks like there's some sweet corn in the back, and maybe some like cherry tomatoes or something. And there's a nice sign that says cappuccino espresso. There's a coffee bar in there.
Yeah, not just a coffee bar, but if you look up above, that is the greenery that you see on the left.
Yeah,
is a full bar, a tequila bar.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't the first thing that I did, but maybe the second thing that I did was head straight to the bar and have them make me an old fashioned, which I drank while I was wandering around the grocery store.
Yeah. Okay. That makes perfect sense. There are over on the left-hand side, there's your typical grocery, some very nice, multicolored grocery bags. There's a nice selection of coffee to grind over on the right. Now, above the coffee sign on the second level of this, there's a Trump Vance Make America Great Again ! 2024 banner. Okay.
That wasn't the thing that struck me.
No. And actually, by the way, if you in that upper deck on the far right-hand side, there is a sign that is just sort of against the railing. It hasn't really been deployed. It looks like it's there for storage, but it says restore constitutional government. So, okay, that was probably part of something, but it's not on sort of active display. It's just laid up there. But the thing that I didn't see most of that because when you sent me the picture,
Yes.
in the middle of the picture, by the way, is this a cardboard cutout? Is this a
Yes.
okay? Because it is so well printed. We were not sure if it was a cardboard cutout or if this was like a 3D, like life size thing. There is a cardboard cutout of a it almost looks it's life size Donald Trump in his suit with his red tie, holding, I believe that's an AR-15 in one hand. Fine. But this is where things get wild because he's not standing. The life-size cardboard cutout of Donald Trump is riding on the back of a house cat. Now, the house cat has to be scaled up to be the size that a human could ride. So imagine a cute kitty, large enough,
Orange tabby,
large enough that the current president of the United States could comfortably ride on the back of while carrying an AR-15. I will say this, the cat looks more pissed than Trump does in this picture.
I have to tell you, I also sent this picture to Lucas.
Yeah.
And Lucas's response was, okay, I'm confused. Is Trump tiny or is the cat large? Because it's got to be one of those two things.
Yeah, yeah. I just naturally assumed that somewhere, and I don't know, I did not notice this until you showed it to me. Because when you sent this to me, to be completely honest, I missed a lot of detail because because this looked like if you asked AI to generate something and it, you know how it gave you like 3 fingers and whatever, like it looked like it went horribly wrong. If you look behind the cat, do you see what is behind the cat that he is riding? There's a cardboard, I assume it's a cardboard cutout of another cat that is actual cat size.
Oh, there is. Oh my God. How did I miss that?
I think it's there for scale.
Maybe and that's not all. I'm going to send you 3 more pictures.
Please don't. Let's see. Oh, they have merchandise.
They do.
So they've got some supplements and looks like they've got some other supplements. I think what you're trying to tell me though is the My Pillow store inside of the grocery store.
Yes.
With, staying on brand, a cardboard cutout. Now this is of the My Pillow guy holding a pillow. He is not riding a cat near as I can tell. So he doesn't get a cat. Let's see. You also sent me.
There's 2 different varieties of Patriot sauce.
Patriot sauce.
Both original and spicy.
Yep.
And the brand of popcorn that they offer, pre-popped popcorn that they offer.
Lesser Evil. Yes. Now, I'm going to call them out on this. If you notice, there are pictures of the popcorn on that bag. What does it say next to it? Enlarged to show content. So they know how to label things that have been enlarged to show content. They put it on the popcorn, but not on the 6-foot tall house cat.
But none of that was my favorite grocery store item offered, because that would have to be this. And I still, for the life of me, don't understand why I didn't bring a bottle of it home with me.
Okay. Okay, this is makehoney.greatagain.com. It is, according to the label, it is pure honey and ultra mega. And you know how the honey containers are the clear plastic so you can see the honey in it and it's in the shape of a bear?
Yes.
So this is in the shape of Donald Trump. I will say this. They did get his color spot on.
It was how I spent my birthday. But as we're walking through the grocery store at one point, my mother-in-law made a comment about how many farms this guy owns and how he sources all of this food and how it all comes to the grocery store. And I said, well, if Trump gets his way with his policies, your guy owning the grocery store is going to have a hard time picking those strawberries and getting them into this grocery store. Amy, shh.
My concern, I'm just going to be really clear. My real big concern for you now is next year, if you aren't in Florida for your birthday, you guys are going to go to a grocery store and pick up some stuff, and it's not going to be nearly as good. And at some point in that night, you're going to look at Amy and you're going to we need to make my birthday great again.
The music is Happy Boy by Kevin MacLeod. You can subscribe to our award-winning podcast with visiting scholar Todd Prinz wherever you get your pods. Just search Talkin' and the number 2. There's no G and there's no space. You can stop by and see us at the Tuba City home office. Please don't do that. Thanks to our listeners, our sponsors, and our contributors. We appreciate you. And as always, you can send your feedback on this episode or any episode to feedback@talkingtotodd.com. Todd, I'm scared. I'm scared.
No, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. I've got some thoughts for the other podcast, but I was just bonus. Dwayne, guess a number. Dwayne, do you know how many black bears are approximately how many black bears are found in all of Florida? You've seen one. So how many are there?
I don't know, 2,500?
Approximately 4,050 black bears in all of Florida.
Dang.
So, I mean, realistically, right? Seeing a black bear is much, much, much more difficult than getting into Star Wars land over in Disney World. So, I mean, really, you can tick that one off of the checkbox. Saw bear, tick. Ran away from bear, tick. There, I got a bucket list and a life goal.
Well, if I don't get killed by a bear in the next week, we'll be back next week. We're here. We're talking to Todd.
I mean, the black bear is one thing. I mean, what you're really got to be afraid of apparently down there, though, is coming across a 6 foot tall, 400-pound orange tabby cat hopped up on Patriot sauce. If that thing comes out of the woods, man, it's over, man.
I just hope he uses the Panther crossing section. Don't just be crossing the road anywhere.